Hello, my name is Mordred Viking, and I'd like to welcome you to this stream of Europa Universalis IV, where we are playing as, and I'm so happy to be able to say this, the Hanseatic League. We are no longer Lubeck. In the last session, we did manage to finish the mission tree. We got down to unite the League and successfully accomplished that goal. So next up, we are going to try and create New Lubeck, which is basically a colony in Newfoundland, which will require a war with England, probably both for London, which we're going to have to take off of them, and then also their Newfoundland territories. Very likely another conflict against Scotland as well, because Scotland has a bunch of colonial territories, which I would very much like to take for myself as well. So no shortage of colonial ventures for us to undertake. What else is going on? Well, the big looming threat on the horizon is the League War. Both sides are starting to gain in strength. I'm kind of terrified of just how big the Catholic faction is going to be, because they've got Brandenburg, they've got the Ottomans, they've got France, they've got England, they've got Portugal. Yeah, it's going to be problematic. And actually, speaking of England, we can effectively knock them out of the war if we have more heavy ships than they do. And actually we do. They only have 8. And only 6,500 sailors. Pathetic. I have 23,000. In fact, I have more than double like anyone else. Except for the knights, who have 27,000. What? How? You're a one-province minor with 27,000 sailors. Yeah, knights are definitely not OP. They definitely are OP. Especially if you manage to get them more than just a single province. 160 years of coastal raiding. Yeah, true, and it doesn't look like they've actually built very many ships. They've still only got 5 galleys, which is rubbish for them. 9 total ships. Spain is the only other one which could potentially be a competitor, and Spain staying out of the League War. It would be really nice if Spain decided to join us. Oh, and we'll have Scotland on our side, so Scotland can move through my forts and fight against England, and I'm guessing that England's standing army isn't going to be amazing. I've actually got the 3rd largest army in the world. France has got 20,000 men less than me. Now that is interesting. So does Austria. Well, there's the power of money, because I can actually maintain these guys. And then really, the deciding point is probably gonna be this. Wow. Oh no, that's tradition. Hang on. That's navy. That's not what I was looking for. I was looking for this. My 61% professionalism. The Ottomans have 72. That's a lot. France, not even on this list. England, not even on this list. So I have a feeling that if we actually start fighting against the French, our armies will decimate them. Because we do have pretty good quality, especially with the additional 10 discipline now. Plus the professionalism, plus the amount of drilling we've been doing. So really it's the Ottomans we need to look out for. We do have more morale than the Ottomans. In fact, we have the most morale in the world. We don't even have defensive ideas. Admittedly, some of their maintenance is down. Yeah, that's why France is losing it. Okay, that makes a bit more sense. I was like, this doesn't feel right. Paid for with just good business. Exactly. And we are still making money. What were we saving for? Institution, that was it. And soon as the war begins... No, we're not going to be able to hit 17. Oh dear. Shoot, I totally forgot about Lothian. Thankfully, Lothian does have a level 4 fort, which is going to be holding those guys up for quite a long time. But we will need to ship some troops over, so stop you drilling, load you on a ship. You are now fully drilled as well. Sweet. Ah, but you're not fully established yet. We do have another 2 transports going in. So you're going to be able to carry 24 of the 26,000 men. That should be alright. We do have another 2 transports in production. And in fact, I think I'm just going to leave you here at Narcissus for now. Just so that those ships will merge with you when you're ready. And then we should be good to go after the... Separatists. 1 more month, then I think we'll attack. It'll be a defensive battle. We have significantly more morale, and more discipline, and more tactics. Golden. We could go ahead of time in Diplo, but that's not really going to do much for us at this point, I don't think. Alright, let's go pick up the army and send them home again. How big's the vassal swarm? It's pretty big. We now have... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 vassals and 9 people in our trade league. And there's no overlap between those two. So that's actually what? 14 vassals. 14 OPM armies. Which, when you say it like that, I'm just like, oh man, I am so sorry to my enemies. Because that's not going to be fun. If I'm the one that gets declared war on, yeah. And that's the big if. Court painter available. Lately we've been looking for painters or artists trying to adequately capture the glory of our syndic. As it happens, a painter offered his services to us just this morning. So we can pay a crazy amount of money. But that does earn us prestige and stability, and that stability is just gold dust. So I'll take it. I'll pay the money. How are we doing for the institution? Cost us 1,000 now. We're slowly but surely starting to embrace. Some of the other areas around there are still going to take a while. But it's spreading pretty quickly. Albania has accepted peace with Ragusa. Albania will be forced to give Ragusa money. Is this the game where Ragusa was like ridiculously strong for a while? I think this was. They managed to defeat like Lithuania or something crazy. Alright, Dumfries has been converted, so let's move on to the next place. Yeah, let's get the whole of Scotland and Ulster done. And then we'll move over to Scandinavia. Because the less that I need to ship troops over here, the better. Because of the attrition we suffer. And I am a little bit concerned about our lack of military, although we're doing about everything that we can. Yeah, not a huge amount else we can do. Meanwhile, the Denmark-Sweden war seems to be relatively even. No, I'd say the Denmark's ahead. Although Denmark's having to come back to get their capital. Meanwhile, Novgorod is fighting them. I think Novgorod might actually be the one that does the best out of this. Term is up for Jürgen Bacher, who did have the idea cost reduction. We've actually got all of the ideas now, so we can definitely go on and hire somebody else. It's got to be a diplomat. We've got to keep with the diplomats. Ernst Schmidt. And we could get knowledge sharing from Bremen. But knowledge sharing only ever goes into your capital. And we've already got it there, so no. Thank you, but no. Not worth it. It does help that we are subsidizing Novgorod, this is true. Truce with Sweden's ended. Ernst Schmidt is indulgent, so we get trade efficiency. Okay, he's definitely fired. Nation of Flanders, your faithful ally, is requesting we come to the third Flemish conquest of Amsterdam against Utrecht. This is a war they've started. Utrecht is allied with Memmingen, and they are in the Empire, so Bohemia will protect them. Bohemia is no longer our rival, so I don't think there's much of a chance that they'll jump in. Although they are hostile, they definitely don't like us. What year was it that we could start annexing? Was it like 1612 or something crazy? Yes, 1612. So it's another 6 years from now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep on improving relations with these guys. So you can stop. You can stop. And we'll start improving with Brunswick. And I mean, actually, everyone else is kind of on side. So is there anybody else that I need to improve with? Possibly Trade League. In fact, is there anyone else that would want to join the Trade League anytime soon? Regensburg. Constance. Alright, let's go and improve relations with Ravensburg. Regensburg, sorry, not Ravensburg. And Constance. I think Ulm was actually in the list for a while as well. Austria joined the Protestant League. There we go. Alright, so we got one more major power on our side. We do actually outnumber them in terms of just pure princes, but they still have the Ottomans, France and England. I think I can basically make England a non-factor, and in fact a bit of a liability, because I'm pretty sure that my armies can beat the English armies, and that's a free occupation. Like, as long as my navy beats theirs, my navy is significantly stronger than they are. And then that's just going to leave... Well, actually, combined with Portugal and the French navies. I should probably not dismiss them quite so easily. I'm going to build another set of heavies. Up to our force limit. We're going to build another 6. And then we'll have double the heavies that England has. And they're all modern. England tells us of the first circumnavigation. Our fleet set sail to find the Western Sea route to the rich spice islands of Indonesia. It took them 99 days to cross the ocean westwards after they'd found the Strait of Magellan located near the tip of South America. The strait was treacherous, and when they finally reached the ocean, the captain wept with joy. The ocean was so strangely calm. It was named the Pacific, from the Latin word for tranquil. The fleet's captain died from a wound caused by a poisoned arrow when assisting the chief of Cebu in conquering a rival tribe. Rival tribe! 2 of our ships have survived and tried to return across the Pacific, but perished. The last ship continued west and sailed across the Indian Ocean, rounded the Cape of Good Hope, and as it arrived in our port, it became the first ship to circumnavigate the globe. England gains 100 prestige and 40 naval tradition. That's kind of unfortunate. Truce with Brandenburg ended. Can we hire more Marines? No. Still not. And it looks like Flanders is making a pretty good bid. Wait, what? Oh, they did join. Well, Arachnos has become Ironsides Arachnos. Oh, League War. It kicked off and nobody's actually said. Yeah, it happened. Well, thanks for the warning. Okay. So Bavaria is our leader. Bohemia is theirs. Bohemia I'm not surprised by. So Bavaria, Anhalt, Austria, Bamberg, Bremen, Brunswick. Now, why are they... Oh, they can't separate peace with us. Okay, that's fine. I don't think we can with them either. Right then. Because I'm not the war leader, that's why that's marked in such a way. They do have a lot more heavy ships than we do. So we need to try and concentrate those. In fact, their naval superiority is kind of overwhelming. Right, so first things first, let's unmothball you. Second things second. I'm going to take the policy which is going to increase the combat ability of my light ships. And we're going to slow this down to speed 2 while I think about what the hell I'm doing. That's a terrible general. Let's bring Bjornvar in. And have terrible over here. Alright, so we're going to need to try and wipe out the Danes. This general is going to be called... Or this admiral. In fact, do I want 2 admirals? No, I don't think I do. We'll just bring Arachnos in here. And then use the war galleys to hopefully get ourselves a little bit of an early lead in terms of naval dominance. The Council of Trent ends. The Council of Trent has convened in hopes of reconciling the various schismatic churches that have emerged in the wake of the Protestant Reformation. But now that the bloody conflict between the Protestants and the Catholics has erupted across Europe, the proceedings have been called to an inconclusive halt. The Council has been formally disbanded, with none of the participants being fully satisfied. May God have mercy on the souls of those who were not restored to the Church. Yeah, they joined the wrong side. That's really sad for them. Alright, well, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change the edicts on my frontier. I'm going to switch them to defensive. And also up here. Scotland is on our side, so Scotland should be able to do some damage against our enemies. Meanwhile, you've defeated that fleet. So let's jump you in the ships and try to send you over. Our galley fleet is currently annihilating the Danish galley fleet, which will be wresting control of that. So what are we actually fighting? Spain didn't join, did it? No. So it's this. And are we the defender? It's a superiority war, in which they do quite substantially outnumber us, especially in artillery and infantry. Cavalry, we actually have more than they do. And then at sea, they have substantially more stuff. But if we're more concentrated, then I reckon we can probably take the seas from them. Alright, light ships, we're going to tell you to protect trade in the Baltic, and we're going to stick our ships there in the Baltic. They're not going to leave. Alright, transports. You're going to head out and land in Lothian. And we're going to knock out the English if we can. That's going to be our focus. And we're going to be relying on our incredibly good forts to hold the line. Now, where's the Royal Navy? That's another question. I don't see it. There's the English armies. And thus the Siege of Lothian begins. Do we want all of our troops there? I think for the moment, yes. Let's leave you in Kattegat. We're just going to block any access. In fact, while we're here, we may as well go and annihilate any other ships that we see in the area. We have maritime. We'll repair on the coast. That's fine. Doesn't look like we're seeing the Royal Navy. It must be off somewhere else. In fact, what this army could do is go after Denmark. Denmark's in this war, right? Yeah. So what I'm going to do, not that I think it matters, is we're going to assign... Whoops. Click on me. And click on those. They're already marked as vital interest. As is Bergenhus, and I think I'm going to mark all of this as vital interest. Because it is. I am vitally interested in those areas. No, I'm going to do overwhelming force against the English. We're going to load these guys up and send them over too. There's the French Navy. Is that who's coming after us? 19 transports. Yes. Oh, there they are. I see you. Light ships against transports. Who wins? My light ships with some pretty hefty upgrades. They're leaving. Drat. I didn't really want to go on the offensive, but it looks like I'm going to have to. You go and sail up there, just help them out. An offer from Alexander Martin. We're losing ground, Syndic, Alexander Martin claims in a private conversation after a more recent political debate. Our republic depends on trade. It is the very core of our sovereignty. If we put our interests ahead of those of the merchants, we'll soon find ourselves ruled not by a Syndic, but by confused minds who will abandon what has brought us to greatness. You know all too well what comes next. Promises of the wealth continued rule of traders will bring to the Hanseatic League, and much more tangible promises of what wealth it will bring to you. What you're saying is true. The Hanseatic League needs money. We lose Republican tradition. We gain corruption. We gain a lot of money. Or the trader leaves and we lose some corruption. Oh, I'm eminently bribable. It's just good business. I'm still subsidizing Novgorod. I should stop that because Sweden is fighting Denmark and that's a useful thing for us. Let's make sure we have 2 of those. Actually, make it 3. I need to start doing some spy network. So first of all, spy network against England so we siege them more quickly. Then we're going to cancel the subsidies to Novgorod. Soz, need the money. Then I think focusing on Bohemia is probably a good move. So we'll do a spy network against them. They're also quite close to us. Now, did we enter this war with all of my trade league? No. We have the vassals, but not the trade league. And you're at war with Georgia and Persia, which you are winning fairly easily, but that is keeping the Ottomans occupied elsewhere. Is Novgorod not in the war on our side? They are, but they're primarily fighting against Sweden right now. And I feel like I need the money for my own endeavours. Like, what I'd really like to do... Actually, one thing that I could do is embrace this and then get mill tech. I'm not going to have enough. This is really, really bad, actually, if we fall behind there. No, right now I'm going to save money in case I need to bring in mercenaries. I don't want to start with mercenaries, because they do cost force limit. So when the regular armies start dying, that's when we bring in the mercenaries. So Scotland and Ireland are doing some good work over there. My galleys are about to arrive. Actually, looks like we're beating France. Yeah, they left. Huzzah! 20 ships. Oh no, they clearly just ran away. Alright, good stuff. Good stuff. Then let's go ahead and land in the Outer Hebrides. We need you to get repaired. You know what, I'm just going to send you over because you'll continue repairing as you sail. Oh, no, we're going to fight the Danes. And neither of us have a leader. This is primarily transports. A level 2 national treasurer. When the position of burghers and merchants is strengthened in a country, there will be more competent people available for state duty. Sometimes a country can benefit even from the talents of the common folk. This guy is not half price. I think I would like somebody who is half price. Especially if I can then upgrade them. And Sweden's attacking... Oh no, rebels. Okay, they're not actually attacking, they're just passing through. There's the Portuguese navy. That's what I was concerned about. So let's move my fleet over here. So that we can prepare to attack that. We captured a heavy. Fantastic. All of those extra mercenaries. I thought they might run out halfway through. Disappointed! Alright, well that was a fairly crushing naval victory, I think. Looks like Poland is doing pretty well over there. Is Flanders in this war too? Yes. And on our side. Where's the Royal Navy? I'll put the transports here. And you. Unfortunately, I can't really afford to worry too much about rebels and stuff over there, which is a bit of a pain. I don't have the troops for it. Not really. France and England allied? How dare you, sir? Come on, 64%. Come on. There we go. What's your maneuver? 2. What's yours? 3. Is that going to result in a river crossing? Yes, almost certainly. So we'll have to go this way. And as soon as you arrive in Cumbria, we're going to attack. Now. Oh, don't tell me we're just too late. We're just too late, aren't we? Yeah. Oh no, we'll catch him in Chester. It is a river crossing, but we have them massively outnumbered. Oh, and look at the quality difference. Oof. 110 discipline against 105. We have more morale. We have more tactics. We do have the river crossing, but Chester is farmland. They have no infantry combat ability. They have no cavalry combat and no artillery. We have artillery superiority, which means we're using the back line. Our infantry is drilled, our cavalry is drilled, and we have a massive amount of professionalism, meaning we take 20% less damage. 20%! And yeah, we are shattering them. Oh, the French are back. Well, let's go and deal with them. And then the transports, which are you. Just go back into port, that's fine. In fact, I'm going to call you transports, so I can actually see what you are. And then these two I'm going to merge together in one fleet. Stack wipe! Oh man. Decisive. Yes, very decisive. Alright, so one of you is going to go, hello, there. The other one's going to go to Londinium. And that's a Portuguese transport fleet. That's not a heavy fleet. English are going after the Flemish. We beat them. I'm going to go and try and sink the Portuguese transports if I can. And then we'll go and deal with the English war fleet. And we'll leave the Scots and the Irish to deal with that area. Growth of the perfume industry. A growing merchant class, as well as an increasingly demanding social code amongst the nobility and the upper classes, has led to an increased demand for perfume. The halls of grand palaces are now expected to have a sizable scent, a likeable scent, as well as a majestic decor. This has led to a surge in demand for products such as frankincense, myrrh, and other scented products in the making of perfume, and in Cremona the refinement of local flowers and foreign scented goods have even grown into a major industry of itself. So Cremona just gained a bunch of bonuses, and incense is now worth a lot more money. What do you get from forming the league? You vassalize anyone that was in the trade league. And considering my trade league was pretty sizable, we got a lot of vassals. Which is a bit of a negative, because it uses up a lot of diplomatic slots. Oh, and we can't start annexing anyone while we're at war, and this war tends to last a while. We are winning overall. By 1%. Did you sail to the wrong place? You absolutely sailed to the wrong place. Haha. Neener, neener, neener. This is going to be another obliteration. They have no commander. Now, Portugal's national advantage is that their ships are more likely to withdraw rather than get sunk. So we're not going to inflict a lot of casualties, but we'll still force them to run. Then I would say let's go rout the French, and then probably go after the Royal Navy. That's unfortunate, we're getting a lot of rebels over there.